Self-care is the best. Don't be like the rest. It's Rhyme and Reason 792.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're...
Hey there, Tony here, and I just wanted to jump in with a little short information about self-care. My wife became a certified health coach several years ago, and one of the key things her instructor mentioned over and over, and really hit home with me, was that self-care is the best health care. There's a ton of rhyme and reason to that assertion, by the way. And a friend of mine recently shared a link in her social media feed to an article about Walgreens and CVS drugstores. The article talked about how those companies will be selling the abortion pill that's killed millions of babies in the womb just by taking a pill. And the article also said, their decision, this is a quote from the article, their decision comes after the Biden admin decided yesterday to allow pharmacies to sell the dangerous abortion drug that has killed millions of babies and injured thousands of women. Previously, mifepristone, whatever, it's Mifepristone, I would say that was mifepristone, could only be dispensed by clinics, medical offices, and hospitals or under the supervision of a licensed physician. But why shouldn't drugstores get in on all that money-making potential, right? I mean, after all, they're in the, quote, healthcare business, aren't they? Right? Aren't they? So-called pro-choice advocates would probably say that the pill is self-care. Because they believe it empowers women to be in control of their own bodies. But sadly, it's not women's bodies the pill kills. So there's no actual care of self involved. You get that? That's not self-care. That's killing someone else. There's downright hatred for that little life that they created and decided to abort/kill, I'll put it that way. But the abortion pill, just like abortion clinics, medical offices, and hospitals, and most doctors, it's just part of the old healthcare business industry, right? And as I've said for decades, calling what they do healthcare is a misnomer at best because there's neither health nor care involved anymore in 99.99% of them. I talk about health fairly frequently here on the Rhyme and Reason podcast and over at TonyFunderburk.com. But just in case you hadn't noticed, and if you didn't know, I'm not a doctor. And I don't play one on TV. I'm just a guy who cares about my fellow human beings. And I believe that even the tiniest ones have a right to life.
When tiny seeds take root in tiny eggs, then you get tiny eyes, ears, arms, and legs. Then tiny babies form inside their mother's womb, and then the human life begins to bloom. I was an unborn child until the day I was born. I lived inside my mom until the cord was torn. Then I began to grow and grew up big and strong and learned to cherish life. And so I sing this song. Everyone has a right to life. It shouldn't end before it even starts. Everyone has a right to life. Your right is wrong when it stops innocent hearts. Everyone has a right to life. It shouldn't end before it even starts. Everyone has a right to life. Your right is wrong when it stops innocent hearts. Innocent hearts deserve a right to life. You're born and someone lets you live. You only take 'cause 'cause you're too small to give, but the joy a tiny baby brings is way beyond all those other things. So give yourself some room to think about what you right might do, who you're leaving out. Put yourself right there in that baby's place. Either way you choose, you'll see a baby's face. Everyone has a right to life. It shouldn't end before it even starts. Everyone has a right to life. Your right is wrong when it stops innocent hearts. Everyone has a right to life. It shouldn't end before it even starts. Everyone has a right to life. Your right is wrong when it stops innocent hearts. Innocent hearts. Everyone has a right to life. It shouldn't end before it even starts. Everyone has a right to life. Your right is right when it stops innocent hearts. Everyone has a right to life. It shouldn't end before it even starts. Everyone has a right to life. Your right is right when it stops innocent hearts. Right to life, innocent hearts. Let's defend the innocent and life.
Yep, even the tiniest ones, still in their mother's wombs, still small enough to be affected by a pill, even they who need help to live long enough to focus on self-care and get that chance, they're my neighbors too. And God says to love your neighbor as yourself. And that's good self-care, by the way. To love your neighbor as yourself. That's self-care. And that's not killing somebody. If you love your neighbor, you don't kill them. Okay, there's my rant. I said it would be fairly short, and it's fairly short. Thank you for tuning in to the Rhyme and Reason podcast. As always, brought to you by TonyFunderburk.com, where you can go get an uncool t-shirt over there even that says, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're here. Give your time and season to the one